Okay, I did a video about the alarm codes earlier, but problem was that I told you which sensor was malfunctioning, but I was unable to go ahead and go in depth and tell you how to take care of that sensor. Most of the time, the sensors are dirty. You can clean them. Usually dust or uh, residue gets on it from fuel and makes them malfunction. So I have managed to clean them. But this particular code, I believe it works for other engines. I'm going to go randomly and we're going to talk about the codes. There are two types of code. Uh, let's go ahead and bring the code book. Okay, here they are. I'm going to go up and down. There's like 15 of these. You got a code for map sensor. With basically, you will get 3 beeps with a pause with 4 beeps. You may get a light. It says lamp flashing. So it's 3 lights, 4, 3, 4. It could include sound as well if you don't have a lamp. But look at the lamp flashing. It will go beep, beep, beep. Then it will pause. Then it will go beep, beep, beep. So it's a 3 and 4 like a Morse code. Now, if you notice on the right, it says fail-safe system activation. If you see the word yes, that means that it's very important to be taken care of. Important stuff will go to a fail-safe mode, and that means it could possibly damage the engine. But here it is, the Ckp sensor, which is a 4 and a 2. It does not go in fail-safe, so you can get a 5,000 RPM out of that thing, and you need to take care of it, but it's not urgent. Now, I'm going to go up and down so you can see. I cannot show the whole page, so I got to go up and down. Here's you can pause your video. Here's your bottom part of the screen. Okay, so pause your video and then here's the top of the screen. Now, each one randomly will pick. So what is a map sensor? How you take care of it? So let's go find out. We're going to copy it. And we're going to find out how to take care of the map sensor. So that's 3 and 4 code. You have to bear with me because I'm doing this without, I'm not able to prepare for it really. I'm winging it. So map sensor 1. It says that there be no signal with engine running. Receives an auto range 4.9 to 11, 114.6 kPa, and the voltage is from 0.2 to 4.5. The signal is, what does all that mean, huh? Okay, so when the engine is running, you get 0.2 to 4.5 volt it goes to the engine running. I personally don't know what kPa means. kPa, kilo, is that some kind of measurement? Let's find out. So what you do is you go Control A. Let's see if we can find out. Okay, here you go. It is the kPa is a unit of a pressure. 1 kPa is approximate pressure 10 G mass. So basically it's pressure sensing. You can you can pause and read this as you need to. Not important probably, okay? So let's go back to the book. We will continue. Okay. Here's the pre-programmed value for fail-safe system. Again, it's 32,101 pressure. I still don't worry about it. You can continue. We need to find out where the Ckp sensor is. Well, map sensor. What I need is map sensor replacement. Let me see if we can find that. Apparently you got two of them. You got a map sensor 1 and 2. Okay. Here you go. Here's your map sensor instruction. You need a picture. Engine electronics, self-diagnostic code, map sensor. Here's your wiring diagram. If you are an expert, you probably know what all this is about. What I can tell, this is the sensor, map sensor. 3 wires come out of it, white. I'm going to say black and white, and a red. Black right here, that's the symbol of ground. That's the symbol of ground. This is your computer. This is the symbol of resistance, 5 volt right there. 1, 2, 3, 4 connections, and this one has 3 connections. And here's the example. This is the connection on the white. It's a connection on the sensor. Okay. And I'm going to pause it. Pause your video. It's telling you what to do. Ignition, take the map sensor connector off with the ignition switch on, check the voltage at R, and so on. I'm not going to take everybody's time and read it. So if you need this information, pause the video so you can get all the information. We're going to go to let me see what other information we will get. I need the location of it. Is it going to show us a map? Okay, here's a map sensor vacuum passage. You could check the vacuum passage. So apparently there's some suction on the tube that can cause a problem. So, and these are all the unstable, and since it's under unstable idling, apparently if your map sensor is not working, your idling problem will be one of your problem. Okay, so I'm not able to locate the location of the map sensor, and this is the service manual. And we found out that we have 2 of them, huh? Okay. I'm not a mechanic, I'm a guy that just reads the books. So I never had that problem, but I'm sure somebody, let me see if we got, oh, here we go, map sensor removal and installation. Okay, let's go to that. We got it. Okay, just read, that's all it is. Okay, so here's your map sensor, number 1, right there. This is the water hose, if I recall. Let me see. That's your map sensor right there in the picture. We already covered how to test it. Now, if anybody wants to send me a note, I will try to answer you. Uh, okay, let's go ahead and that's your map sensor. Number one is it says disconnect the Cmp sensor lead wire. Let me see. Map sensor, Cmp sensor. Okay, we are going to do a correction. This is the map sensor. Sorry about that. This is the first time I'm doing it, and I'm doing it live almost. Map sensor removal. So this is the sensor right there. From what I can tell is this little black piece is where the air goes in. So this is front of the boat. I think right there is where the throttle wires are. So it's going to be near the steering system. I'm hoping I'm correct. I'm pretty sure I'm correct. I know the engine. That looked like the intake manifold where the air goes in. Okay, so if anybody wants to correct me, you're welcome. But here's your map sensor. 1, 2. That's the lead, and that's the sensor. Remove the air intake sensor. Everything, try to clean it, get the rust off of it, because y'all don't use the boat and it sits there forever. It freezes, it rusts, and like these two connections, these bolts, I don't know if they do anything as far as the grounding, but they could be dirty. I'm sure they do some kind of grounding. So see if you can get all that off. Rust is nasty, especially you saltwater guys. So I'm going to pause right here and let you read it. Okay, we already covered the, right here is your output test where you need a voltmeter to measure it. Here it is showing you how to if you cleaned it and it didn't work, take it to a mechanic probably, because these sensors are probably cost a lot, and you don't want to change one without being one. If you don't have all these tools that the mechanics have, like this particular pump right here, you may be able to check the voltage and all that. So anyway, it's up to you to read all this. I'm just doing this so you don't have to buy the book. If you, some of y'all don't have access to the book. This is the pen. Shows you where the pen is. This is the big pen. Part of the C computer. But you do need a voltmeter to check to see if the voltage that is coming out of it is good or not. Okay. If it's overwhelming you, you take it to a mechanic, okay? But at least you know what the problem is and you won't be surprised. Let's go back. We covered the map sensor, which is the 3 and 4. Okay, we're going to pick one from the bottom now. O2 sensor. Heater. Wow. Well, that's even a surprise to me because I didn't know I have an O2 sensor heater. Never had that, but basically you're getting a 6 beep, pause, 3 beep. Okay. So let's go see what we can find about O2 sensor heater. Does it take you to the fail-safe? Yeah, you cannot go more than 3,000 RPM. So we're gonna go here, see what we can. Okay, O2 sensor inspection. Let's go. Okay, oh, here you go. First we need to, Okay, it starts from here, O2 sensor output voltage. What he's talking about, if you find, I don't know the sensor location yet, we're going to find that out, but basically says it needs to do a 0.2 volt or less. It's the amount of voltage needs to come out of the sensor. Let me see. Okay, we're going to start from we're going to start right here, O2 sensor removal and installation. And this is educational for me. Here you go. This is the O2 sensor right there. I know exactly what it is. This is your starter right there. And it is right there next to the starter. Mine was rusty and it wasn't working. And it was under warranty, they changed it. But if it was me at home, I would not have changed it. There was some water leak from the hose right here, and it got in here, and it got rust on it, so it was not working. They removed it and replaced it, but you could have just cleaned the rust, but they wanted to charge labor and parts, so Suzuki bought me a new O2 sensor. I've had this problem. All it was rust. Location is right there. You remove it, you clean it, you put it back. It could have some soot on it, the unburned gas, black tar, whatever. Put it on gasoline or alcohol and clean it. Some of these sensors are sensitive. This one is not. So you can also further information. Cars have O2 sensors. You can learn how to clean them. There's probably a special cleaner that you can use for it. Same as the throttle body cleaner. So take it back. Use a throttle body cleaner to clean it. Or research how you clean the O2 sensor on a car. It's the same thing, car and boat. Almost the same thing. It's just that the boats take a lot of RPMs and cars don't have that much RPM. We go from 0 to 6,000 all the time and stay at 6,000. So anyway, I've paused your video so you can see all of this. It's too much. The video will be too long if I read it. On the right, you have some information. I just tried to. Here's a better picture right here. Let me zoom it in. You see it? I zoomed it in for you. Here it is. Okay. And if you want to know how you zoom in, it's control, and on a window is controlled with the wheel mouse. I'm on a real CPU. So anyway, basically removal of that. It has some tests. Most of the time, cleaning the item, getting rid of rust will take care of your problem. It's usually a grounding problem. Suzuki is very good. It doesn't break down that easy. So anyway, I think this is part of your continuation of testing it to see if it's bad. But if you see a bunch of rust on it, in my case, you know rust is not good. Remove the rust. Okay. O2 sensor inspection. O2 sensor heater. Oh, okay. This was a well, we're looking for a heater, not the O2. Maybe it all is in one. Is that what it is? I don't have time to read the book right now. Too many. So I'm just letting you read it. You figure out your own problem. O2 sensor heater, approximately 12 volt. This is your idle voltage, what comes out of the system. Okay. All right, let's go back to the code. This is the best thing you can find. Unfortunately, I'm not doing a good job, but this is live almost. So code. If I was going to rehearse it and do a perfect job, I will be posting this probably a year from now. Codes, alarm codes in particular. Why is not coming up? Even though it came up several times earlier. Yep. Bear with me. Alarm code. How about this alarms? There you go. Okay, we did the 6334, one that happens all the time. Let's go to Iat Sensor. Okay, so Iat is a 2 and a 3, and it puts your engine in the restricted mode, 2 and 3. So Iat Sensor is, let's go find out what we can find out. Okay, self-diagnosing code of 2 and 3 IAT. Here you go, IAT removal. Okay, what is a IAT? CK. Let me see, IAT. There you go, Iat Sensor. Well, it is located, where is it? Here you go, okay. This one, mine got loose on it. And what it is, it checks the airflow. This is where the air goes in, right here. And it's very sensitive, so don't touch it and don't clean it. It's probably loose. In my case, it was loose. It was leaking air. And its job is to check how fast the air is moving. And because it was leaking, I had some idling problem, if I recall, yes. But I had some serious problem. I think the engine would die when I went from 3,000 RPM to idle. It would die, and that's what the cause of it was. I didn't have to do anything. All I had to do was put it back in and tighten it. But I have a video on this, so you're lucky you get to see the video. So IAT, this is the intake manifold right there. This is where you have to move that. There's a video, so we don't need to spend too much time on here. But in case if you don't speak English and you don't understand me, that I'm telling you there's a video, but you can read English at a very, very slow pace. I'm going to go ahead and pause and let you read it because some of you don't have access to these books. So some people speak English but very slow. I'm talking too fast. Okay, here's the deal. Iat Sensor. Who remembers what the code was? Ha ha ha. Question. See how much you were paying attention. Uh, let's see. Okay, it was a 2 and a 3. 2 with a 3. So inspection. Here's. Just be careful with this thing. This is sensitive, and that part right there just plugs in. Okay. Believe it or not, nothing was holding it. It just plugged in, plugged out. So easy. I don't know what it was holding it. Almost nothing. I wanted to glue it really, because it had come out already. But I think it was pushed around when they worked on the boat. Yeah, they're in a hurry, the mechanics. So anyway, that's enough of that. Let's go to the next one, or this video will be 6 hours, and I'm not gonna do that. Alarm. Come on, code. There you go. So we did 2 and a 3 was the last one. Okay, IAT. Let's do one from the bottom. Well, O2 sensor heater, O2 sensor. Let's do a NOx sensor. Is it going to make your engine go to 3000 PM? Yes, it does. NOx sensor, which is a 5 and a 4. Let's go find that. My last video, all I told you was it's a NOx sensor problem. You didn't know what to do after that, but this is an improvement, or somewhat of an improvement. Okay, NOx sensor removal installation right here, self-diagnostic code of 54. So let's go removal and installation. Okay, you're gonna have to read it. I'm gonna pause the video. Where is it located? Here's the plug for it. Here's the connection for it right there. Where am I? Let me see. Where is this part? Okay. Okay, right here. Right there. These are exhaust. 4 exhausts coming out, and it's located on the second port right there. Let's zoom in so you can see it better. That's your NOx sensor. It's able to detect the knock, and it has a plug. So to take care of it, remove an insulation is remove the intake manifold. Ooh, that's a big job. As you notice, actually that's the intake, it's not the exhaust. They want you to remove this. Ooh, big job. Well, let the mechanic do this one. But some of you are good. So I'm going to go ahead and continue. Just show you the instructions. They want you to remove the intake manifold. Now you can see the port right there is empty. This is where the air flows. This is the sensor. Let's do a zoom in. See, if this connection is loose right there, it's going to give you problems. So just mess with this connection without taking some kind of grounding or like damaged wire or something. If that fixed it, be happy. You don't have to take the intake manifold. Anyway, in just few instructions. Remove the intake, refer to intake manifold removal and installation. Because it's complicated, I'm going to assume you know how to take the intake out already. you've done it before. Otherwise, I don't want you to do it. Take it to a mechanic. But just in case, we're going to do a intake, manifold removal and installation, page 1D7. Let's go 1D6, Let's go 1D-6. Okay. There you go. Oh, 1D6. Intake, manifold removal and installation. Ooh, a lot of work. Apparently, you got to relieve the fuel pressure. Remove the two bolts. I'm not gonna take everybody's time. I'm gonna just show you the page, and you can pause it. Okay. 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, is this still part of it? Oh, it's a big job. Forget about it. Get a mechanic. Knock sensor is a big job. Look at this. It has 14, 15 steps. Some of these things I showed you have only like 2 steps. Let's not mess with this one. Let a mechanic do it. Okay, let's go to the codes again. So we did the knock sensor. We did the O2 sensor, heater and O2 sensor kind of. Trim sensor is not that important. Where's the voltage regulator? Oh, here you go. Rectifier, regulator, overcharging. You get a 1-1. Now, good thing is it does not put you in the, what happens is when the voltage regulator stops working, the power comes in and it never shuts off, keeps charging the battery. Now, it's a very common problem which you can ignore. Basically, if your battery keeps getting charged at, like, if I recall, something like 16 volt maximum, and your electronics can handle it. Your battery is getting charged, but you do not want to overcharge it. So if you go boating once in a while, your battery is always dead almost anyway, and a couple of hours is not going to overcharge it. But if you're a captain and you drive 8 hours a day, you're going to overcharge your battery, and it's going to be bone dry, no water in it eventually. So you may want to fix it. But average Joe fishing that goes in every month, like even every 2 weeks, most of y'all go every 4 months, you can ignore this because your battery was undercharged anyway, and it takes 7-8 hours for it to get overcharged, and it's not going to happen. Your battery is always wants to be charged. Most of you, when you go fishing, and the signal is 1-1, it goes beep, beep, like that. And I had that happen. Now, to fix it is expensive, so I wouldn't fix it. Okay? Unless you drive every day. If you drive the boat every day, you're going to have a battery problem because it's going to get burned up. It's going to get overcharged. But let's see what it takes to. I think it's $200-300 to fix it in parts. Yeah, it's a lot of work. So don't fix it if you're an average angler. Let me see. This is what you have to, we're going to show you what you need to do because you won't believe me till you see it, probably. Okay, I've had this in 2 engines so far, so it's a common problem. There you go. See, I was right. 16 volt or higher, and it never stops, continually charges it. And you need to change your rectifier. Let me see. Let me see if I can give you a picture. Need a picture. Looking for the picture. Okay, here it is, right here. That's the rectifier with all the wires coming out of it. And you got 2 anodes on it, 1, 2 anodes right there. This is where the spark plugs are. So it will be to the left near the fuse box. That's the rectifier. You need to get that. It has a gasket. You need to get the gasket. And there are a bunch of different kind of rectifiers that look alike. Make sure you get the correct one, not the one almost look like it. So you buying it on Amazon or eBay, make sure it's the exact one and you're getting a gasket. 99% of the boaters can ignore it and not replace this part. Just let it charge the battery because that's what you're going to do anyway. And your battery is under power anyway. The correct voltage for a battery is 13.2. It's not 12. 12 is not charged battery. It's like 80% charge or something like that, if I recall. So if you're below 13.2, you need to charge your battery. And every volt, like there's a big difference between 12 and 12.1 and 12.1 with 12.2, significant difference. It's like to give you an idea, it's like an earthquake. When it goes like earthquake number is 8 on Richter scale, and it's like 9. The difference between 8 and 9, I think it's like 10-fold or 100-fold. I don't remember. 10-fold probably. So big difference between 12 and 12.1. You need to be as close as to 13.2. Okay, so your battery is not 12 volt. It's that superstitious. They don't like the word 13. Fully charged battery is 13.2. I think I said it 4 or 5 times already. But you forget it. And you call it a 12 volt. People think 12 volt is at 50% charge, if I recall. I'm going by memory. They have charts for that. Look up the voltage chart. And yes, we do have a video on that as well. So don't mess with that. It's the conclusion of my recommendation. Save yourself a bunch of hassle and money. Let's go back to the code. Be patient with me. Okay, so let me see. We're gonna do Ckp Sensor 4.2. I believe it's crankcase position. I'm not sure. Ckp. It's 4 lights with 2. Good thing is you don't have a problem of being forced to pull over. Okay, Ckp Sensor. Removal and installation. Where are you? Ckp. Here it is. Let's go ahead and let me see. No. CKP. Okay, here you go, right here. Where is it? It says 1 underneath there. Crankcase position. Oh, here you go. Yeah, right here. Okay, basically these are magnets, and this is magnetic. And when this is the flywheel. When the flywheel turns, it will sense how many times it went by, and it's counting. And look at the gap right there, from here, very close gap. And rust comes in. You clean this bottom and the top, so that will be in this picture. You clean these and that. Obviously, to see the flywheel, you need to take the hood off. You need to take these plastic parts off right here. Underneath this is the flywheel. That's why you take these bolts off. This needs to come off, okay? Once you take it off, you see that, and you just clean it. Now, let me see what the book says. Somebody just asked me about this past couple of days. Okay, removal of a lower side cover. Refer to lower side cover. Removal of ring. Okay. This is 2 bolts right there. Anyway, 2 bolts is very easy. You can do this one. You can do this one. Ckp Sensor. Okay. All right, I'm going to sit there. Then I'm going to go here and sit there, so you can pause the video as you need to. All right, that's it. It's very easy. 2 magnets go by each other, or 1 magnet and 1 metal, I don't know. I think both are magnets. That's what I would make it. Here's a picture right here where these 2 pass each other by, and it's showing you the gap. The A needs to be 0.03, 0.7 millimeter. Very close, huh? So that's how much gap we need to have. Maybe the rust got in. Clean it with the rust cleaner or some soft sandpaper. And when you clean, don't go all or none, where you never cleaned it before for 4 or 5 years. Now you're cleaning it so good that you destroy it. So just enough to get it by, okay? Don't over clean things, don't over fix things, okay? Don't be all or none, where I don't vacuum the house unless, and then when I do, I spend 15, 20 hours doing it. No, just hour a day or hour a week, or, you know, whatever is good enough. You don't need to be all or none. A lot of people, when they come to cleaning, they do that. But anyway, they damage things. Okay, this was the C. Let's go to the code again. I think that was the CKP code, right? Okay, we did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, kind of 7, if you want to call the. Okay, let me see which one has happened to me. Oh, this one. This happened to me. Had a bunch of unburned gas on it, and yes, your engine tank is hot, and you go to safe mode. This happened to me once. Engine had about 200 hours on it. I don't know how that happened. 1.5, which is the exhaust, and all I did clean it. I even put it in the hot water and took a reading. The resistance changes when it gets hot or cold. Resistance is how easy electricity flows through. So like copper, easy for electricity flow through, but let's say water is harder. That's why we don't use water wiring and we use copper wiring. Even though water allows electricity to flow through, not as easy, okay? So, and then some things is very difficult. Let's say a brick. A brick is very difficult for electricity to move through unless you get to the 1,000,000 volts or so. Then it uses the moisture in the brick, which is the water, to flow through. Enough of that, but let's go find out the location. And this one I told you can do it. And I've done it. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Exhaust manifold temperature. Let me just go find it. Yep. Here's that little booger. That's it. It is on top of your rectifier and regulator. This is the starter right there. That's the starter. This is the voltage regulator, and water flows through back of that thing, or exhaust, one of the, I think water, and that's your sensor. You pull it out and clean it. Exhaust manifold temperature sensor. Wait a minute. Hang on. Do we have two of them? No, okay. This is the exhaust. This is cylinder. It's the same sensor probably. This checks the cylinder. And this is the flywheel cover, if I recall. This is the water intake. And this is checking the, we were on the cylinder temperature sensor or exhaust. Well, anyway, they do the same thing. One is here, one is there. Let's go back to my book. Exhaust. Okay, we're in exhaust. Like I am exhausted. Okay, let me see. So we were in an exhaust system. So this is a cylinder. We're looking at exhaust manifold temperature sensor right there, which is this. This is the rectifier. This is the starter. Starter right there. This is the rectifier that controls the voltage. Here's your sensor. You just spin that thing. You probably need to get the wire to spin. Disconnect it. Yeah, right there. Disconnect it and spin that thing, and it will. It's just screwed in. But make sure the wire spins as well. Otherwise, you break off the wire. So this little clamp is very easy to move. These two items. Okay. I hope some of these extra information I'm giving you is not confusing you. Easy to do, okay? You can do that one. So I'm going to pause it. Exhaust manifold temperature sensor. Go ahead and read all that. That's it. I would say clean it. Put it back in. See what happens. Costs you nothing. A few minutes. Okay? Now, this one is near the water intake, and this is the flywheel. This is the engine hoist, where you can pull the engine up, and that checks the exhaust temperature. That's another sensor. We talked about that, but let's go back to the code. I wanted to do this so long, but it takes forever for me to have time to get it done. If I was going to do a perfect job, it would have been about a year. You would never ever get this information on time. You're looking at it probably right now. Trying to fix your boat. Trim sensor, we're not going to talk about it. It's a joke. I don't know what it does if it's not, well, the engine doesn't go up and down. It's located where the trim is. Let's spend a few seconds on it. My boat doesn't have it. They didn't put it on, but let me show you the location of it, and that's it. You probably can move the sensor by your hand. And solve your problem. But you want to know where it's located. There you go. Trim sensor removal. Let's zoom in. Here you go. That little number 4, I believe, is the sensor. This is the plug, number 1. This is where the engine goes up and down, okay? This bolt holds the engine. This is where you grease it, grease fitting. So here's the sensor right there. You probably can move it by hand if you're having a problem, just to get by. And this is the plug. I don't have it. I'm gonna let you read it. Trim sensor. Okay. Here's the bottom part of the picture. Pause your video. Hopefully you're on a big computer. We highly recommend you buy this electronic book, not from me, on Amazon or eBay for your boat. These are all the specs, what the voltage should be coming out of the sensor, what the resistance should be. That's how I can detect how high or low is the voltage changes. So anyway, let's go. It's not a crucial deal. You can live without it, but some people want it to be working perfectly. Okay, so that's the diagnostic of 3.7. We're halfway done. Have I picked your issue yet? Let's see. You keep saying, pick that one, pick that one. Did we do map sensor 3.2 map sensor? Let's go to one that map sensor 1. Okay, you got two of them. Map sensor 2 does not mess you up, but map sensor 1 does mess you up. So map sensor 1 is the first one we did actually. What is the map sensor 2? Let's go find out. Map sensor 2. Did we go over it? I don't remember. I hope if this is something we already went, I apologize. I don't remember. Here's the map sensor 2. A picture. Here's how to take care of it. Red, brown, yellow, brown, white, I guess. Location. Another thing is you can buy the item or look it up and find that same item in the on the engine. Map sensor 2 removal. Anybody sees that? Map sensor removal. Oh, here you go. That's the map sensor. Huh. How you call that one? Let me see. Are they calling the wire 1 and the unit itself at 2? Is that what they're doing? No. No, that's not what they're doing. I'm looking for map sensor 2. Somebody update me. Put a note if you're a mechanic. Oh, I'm not able to find it. We're not gonna take too long. Nope. Map sensor removal and installation. There is no 2, even though we got 2 codes. One for map sensor 1, one for map sensor 2. Isn't that interesting? See, you got. Okay, I give up. We gotta go on. This video is getting a little long. It's 2 in the morning. I'm doing this and I'm sleepy. Code. Come on. Come on. Here you go. Okay. Let's go to one that messes you up. We did this cylinder temperature. Cylinder temperature we didn't do, right? 1.4. No, we didn't do 1.4. We reviewed it, but okay, cylinder temperature, which is a 1.4 code. I showed it to you, but now we're gonna actually get to it. Here's the, they want it to be in this range. Here's the wires to it, black and black. I don't know what L, light with green with white, black with white. I don't know. But all it is, let's go find it. I showed it to you already. Here it is. All it is you remove it and clean it. And put some voltage and ohm meter on it, get the correct reading. The reading is 23 what? 23 to 28 ohm, is that what it is? I think it is. Okay, here you go. Resistance is the ohm, and this is the symbol for those of you who know electronic. You can read about it using a voltmeter. We don't have time to show you how to use a voltmeter, but that's the symbol of ohm. And this particular item changes resistance according to temperature. If I recall, I cleaned it. It had the cylinder one, yeah, exhaust. Yeah, it was the exhaust, so it was a lot of smoke attached to it, a bunch of black stuff. I cleaned it, put it in hot water, and when it was cold, I checked the resistance. When it was hot, and I came up with these readings, just like it says. This is the probe. These are, I think, the pin number, which hole it goes to on the CPU massive hole. You know that little plug you pull out with 100 little wires? I think these are the numbers. Pin 23, pin 8. This is the one I use to come up with and this is the voltmeter. That's the symbol of, oh, okay, here's the pin number right there. 23, you see it? 23, that means that's the pin that it connects to, so that's too much for you probably. I cleaned it, tested it by throwing it in the hot water to raise the temperature, and then pulled it out, checked it. If water was about, let's say, 122 degrees, and I got like 0.73 to 0.96, so it was working. Okay? And this is water when it's freezing. It changes to 5.3 to 6.6 kilo ohm. I just checked it. I just checked to see if the resistance changes with the temperature. I didn't even have a thermometer. But when I saw all those black stuff on it, I knew that's all I have to do to get it working, because all those black stuff work as a insulator and is not able to tell the temperature. It's like a little blanket on top of it, so that it's not able to tell if the engine is hot or not. So giving me an error. The error, the code is for cylinder temperature. Who knows? Who knows? Who's awake and paying attention? Cylinder temperature sensor right here, 1 to 4. Okay. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We got a little bit more to go, right? Let's go to, did we do 2, 3? Yeah, we did. Did we do 3, 4? Yes, we just did. 3, 4, we did. That was the first one. Cylinder temperature, we just did that. 2, 3, we did that. 4, 2, we did that. 2, 4, 2, 4, we did not. Okay, so that's the next one. Cmp Sensor. You can Google it if you want to know what a Cmp sensor is. You just go I want to say crank something position, Cmp sensor. Here's what it looked like on a car. Oh, camshaft position. Camshaft position sensor. Cam is what opens the valves and closes it. The exhaust valve, the intake valve. All mechanical engines have that. So that's what CMP is. Code is 24. Let's see. Well, y'all better give me a like or something. I'm dying in doing this. But anyway, you're going to say, oh, you didn't do a good job. Some people do that instead of saying thank you. Okay, let's go find out. Here's the plug for it. Cmp Sensor removal and installation. And is this still continue? Yep, that is the Cmp sensor right there. That's what it is. It's putting a screwdriver on it. I don't know why. So we're going to go, it's a lot of, you can do this one probably. It's not that difficult. So Cmp sensor removal and installation. I'm going to go down and you pause the video so you can read it. I don't have any recommendation, but again, clean it. Probably dirty. Rust, always. Okay. ECM is your computer. These are all the wires that goes to ECM. And the pin numbers is mentioning it probably. 18 pin and 34 pin. You don't need to worry about that really. Just make sure it's plugged in, the wires are okay, it's getting power, and it's not rusty. You'll be okay probably. Okay. We did the 2-4. Okay. All right, we did 2-4. Have we done? No, we have not. Air intake, we haven't done. 2-2. Let's do 2-2. Air, which is 2 beeps, pause, 2 more beep with the light or sound, I believe. Air intake, we want the symptom is if the air intake leak from intake, insufficient engine power and high speed range, air intake system failure. This is not part of the code right here, but this is where you have a wire coming out of it, detects the water. This is your fuel filter, just for you to know. This is the low pressure fuel filter. This one is the high pressure fuel filter. This one can detect water. That's the wire. I think that's the wire that goes. No, there's a wire that goes to it. I cannot detect the wire right now. Oh, it's in the bottom. That's what it is. It's your on the side note. Here's the wires. It can detect the water. We were on 2.2 code, air intake system. So air intake system. The engine operates at an abnormal high speed when the ECM is receiving a completely closed signal from the throttle position sensor. Okay. Let's see. After 2000 RPM is where the sensor kicks in. Location. Here's the wire. I want to know where their location is. Where is the location? I'm not able to find it. Remove the air intake silencer case. See a lot of that. Huh. Hang on. Code 2.2, and it makes your engine to go in trouble. So we better find out where the air intake system is. Let's go with air intake sensor. Let me see, air intake. I'm not able to find it. Somebody help me. Yeah, that's another one you need to add and make a remark, hopefully, if you're a mechanic. Here's the air intake component. Let's go see what it is. Okay. Air intake component description. Number 7, silencer. Number 6, boy. Wow, this is where the airflow is right there. Air comes in through A. One sensor here, number 6, is Iat Sensor. Number 4, throttle body position. By the way, throttle body position sensor, do not touch it. Do not move it by hand. Okay? Number 5, map sensor. Wow, so many sensors next to each other. That's 1, 2, 3 of them. And Intake silencer 7. I guess that is it. The shape of it causes it. Not able to detect 2.2 code. 2.2 code. Throttle body assembly. I don't know where that thing is. And it makes your engine go to a fail-safe. Okay, the next code we're going to work on is code 4.3, which is the fuel injector. And let's see, 4.3 right here, fuel injector. You get 4 beeps, pause, 3 beeps. Does it affect the performance? No. Let's see what we can find. Fuel injector replacement. Hang on. Fuel injection. Fuel injector is okay. Your fuel injectors need to, this is probably not the one you want to do. You let the mechanic do it, but here's the ohm 10 to 14 at the temperature of 20 Celsius. So you're going to need to convert that. Use the voltmeter to get that information. It's a little bit more complicated, probably. So it's probably not something you want to do unless you're a mechanic already on a vehicle. You'd be able to do it then, but just DIY guys, probably not. Here's your map. Code 4.3 fuel injector. You got 4 of them. Remember, we can check the resistance on them right here. This is your computer, and I'm gonna say that's orange and brown, and what is that? Red and white, green with an L on it. It's some kind of line on the green and a white. But if you're a mechanic, you probably understand this better than I do. Using you need a sound scope. So this is really a mechanic job. But you can take each one out. Remember, it's you're dealing with pressurized fuel, so if you disconnect the fuel lines on the pressure side, it will spray and it will get in your eyes. Make sure you're wearing safety glasses. That's another problem. So let a mechanic do this one. It's not an easy one. It's probably a medium. I might be able to do it. I'm not a mechanic, but I've had the boat for 20 years. So here's the instructions. Pause the video as you need to. We're going to go to the next one because it's too advanced for the average person. We got 2.1. 2.1 is throttle position sensor. It's 2-beep-1, and it gets you in trouble because it will make the engine go to 3,000 RPM maximum. So let's see what we just saw it a while ago. Okay, throttle position sensor. It's pin 21, terminal 21 and 47. Let's see what other information we will find out. Hang on. Okay. Here's your voltage. Okay. I imagine you could do this one if you have this problem. Okay, whenever the throttle moves more than 30 degrees, it will get activated. Okay. Here's your red wire. I'm going to say black and white, brown and yellow. And where is it located? Here's your reading. Troubleshooting. Step 2. Pause the video. I don't need to tell you that, obviously. Okay. Here's your voltage with the ignition switch on, throttle, wide open throttle. When it's wide open, it will move and it gives you a 3.8 volt reading, and then when it's shut, when it switches on, it's only 0.7. So the voltage difference tells the computer what position is located, what position is it in, open or closed. Let's see what other information. There's a lot of information actually. Throttle body, throttle position sensor. Here it is, TPS. TPS is located. The TPS is installed in the throttle body and detects the degree of a throttle opening. Okay. Most of these problems I have not had past 20 years. I had the O2 sensor problem, the exhaust, and the voltage. That's only 3 out of all these. And we talked about it. Voltage, you don't do anything for most people. Just ignore it. Let me see. I'm sure you can read this on your own. Is this neutral switch? Oh, a neutral switch doesn't, we didn't talk about it, but I'm going to put it in anyway. It's not going to give you a code. Just the boat doesn't start if the neutral switch is not involved and is not working. Because it doesn't detect it as a neutral. You got to be in neutral to start. But here's the position of the neutral switch. Let me, so many sensors in this boat. Okay, that's your sensor that it can detect whether you're in neutral or not. And you read it, I'm sure. Okay. Let's stick to the throttle body position. Let's go one more. Here's your throttle position sensor. It decides to probably send in more fuel because they notice that you want to go fast. You move the throttle more than 30 degrees. Number 2 is the TPS, throttle position sensor, which is right there. This is on front of the boat. Let me see what I remember. Yeah, that is, no, that's the back. Oh boy. Let me see. No, that's the front. That is the front. Right there. This hose is where the air goes through. This is the air intake. This is the uh, port air port intake manifold right there. So the location is not very clear above this little piece. We're going to find out what one is. One is throttle body assembly, and the two is the sensor. Okay, so lots of sensors, huh? Next time you want to go 200 miles out, you be scared. Better go with two motors because so many sensors. Okay, very important warning. Read this. Very important. Any of these are touched, they're going to go out of whack. They have to be factory adjusted to precise specifications so you don't move them around, okay, by hand. Don't change the position. Don't unscrew and screw without knowing what you're doing. But I think it's just a sensor, so you're just cleaning the sensor or checking the connection, make sure the contacts are not rusted, things like that. And hopefully you get it working without having to replace it. I don't think they burn out really. They get dirty and clogged and rust. Oh, I hate rust. Okay, we are finally finished. We got one more to go. Let me see what other information. The throttle body assembly consists of main bore, throttle valve, and a TPS. Okay. Let me see what else we got. Here's some more. The highlighted area you need to read. When return to full cut and the throttle is charged to fully close, the IC valve is controlled. Return to okay. Wow. If you just shut the power, the computer takes over and brings the power down slowly. Oh, so many sensors. Anyway, engine will not start or hard to start because of throttle body sensor. Let me see. Unable to idle is the throttle position sensor failure. Cannot idle. Insufficient engine power or high speed range control circuit. So insufficient engine power in high speed. Throttle position failure. Okay. So you have starting problem, and when you're going fast, it's probably not giving enough fuel to the piston because it's not sensing where the position of the, or it's giving too much fuel, I don't know. Probably not enough because you're getting insufficient engine power. If you get too much fuel, you get smoke coming out of your engine, and you can unburned fuel comes out. Throttle position sensor. All right, that sums it up. Last, everybody clap. Last, we got a last finally. Let's go back. We got a 5 and a 3. Oil pressure switch. 5 and a 3, and good thing it doesn't get you in trouble and you can make it home with ease. But let's see, where's the oil pressure switch? So many sensors. I said that before, but golly. Okay, all pressure switch. Here's the 13 pounds, 13 Nm. Foot per pound is 9.5. How tight it needs to be. 9.5 pound. Or these are the metric. 1.3 metric. How tight it needs to be. Let's go. We got quite a few. Okay, let's see. All pressure sensor. All pressure check. What do we got here? Install all pressure gauge. Okay, you have a switch there. Which side is that? I'm gonna say this is where I'm guessing, but I think this is behind the trim switch, and that's number 2 is remove the bolt and air duct. Loosen screw, install oil pressure gauge adapter. Okay. I want to see, for those of you don't have it, some of you have gauges, some of you have just the sensor, will get the arrow message, the code 53. He's connected over here checking the pressure. I guess that's where the sensor is too. If you're getting low oil pressure, it's because it's clogged oil filter, leakage from oil passage, defective oil pump, defective oil pressure regulator, damaged O-ring, combination of above. If you're getting high pressure, you're using a thick oil, it's too thick. I think the engine uses 1030 and 1040. So if you go to, I don't know, 1080, you will have a problem. Clog oil passages, clog oil pressure regulator, combination of above. All right, we're gonna conclude it. If you have any question, send it to me. I'll try to answer it. Go ahead and buy this book, and you can keep it on your computer. I have it on my phone even, just in case. I used to, at least, but then I didn't have any problem. Somehow I erased it, the book. But it's good to have the book with you when you're driving. All right, we're going to conclude it. If you think this was good, go ahead and say thank you so I can make more. This took me about an hour and a half to do this. So say thank you, and then I will make more videos. If I don't get anybody saying anything and they just get the information and run, which most of you do, then a few more videos are going to be available to you, just when I have time. All right, I hope this helps somebody. Go boating, go fishing, and I'm going to go ahead and hold the picture right here. Y'all have a good day. Bye.